Hello everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. What I would like you to do is stop the video right now. Well wait, don't stop it yet. When I say now, stop the video and go look at the link to a Bill Still report, which is the footage that was taken today in Congress. Okay, stop the video now. Okay, we're back. Holy shit. What a fucking day. Look, I've had a rough week. I've had a rough year. Just like you guys. I go to work, I bust my ass, I do my job, I produce, I pay my taxes, right? And I obey the law. What is going on right now in Washington, D.C.? If you saw that Still report, I got some notes here I took, right? Rod Rosenstein. After watching that, I don't care if he's being personally attacked, which they weren't. They are professional criticisms of his performance, his behavior, his attitude. That fucking guy is off the hook asshole. As far as I'm concerned, he's a little cocksucker. Rod Rosenstein is a sneaky little bureaucrat with an enormous amount of power. Now, we had DeSantis, we had Gates, and we had Jordan, Jim Jordan, Representative Jordan, go after the little fucker. Those three guys were pissed, were they not? Pissed off. Right? And they explain why they're pissed. Or, well, you could say they're professionally concerned. Right? I would take it as an unprofessional maneuver by the FBI, which is Rod Rosenstein, that it is a personal issue. See, when he's acting out of line with regard to his professional responsibilities, his sworn oath, hand on the Bible, oath to perform, when he refuses to do that, he's no longer acting under the shield and protection of his office, but he acts personally as Rod Rosenstein, the citizen, who can then be prosecuted for violating his oath, violating duties, etc., etc., etc. I am fucking livid over this. And I've been this way. I've been pissed off a long time. But watching this, the way it was put together on the Still report, nice, concise, to the point, these are the people, this is what's going on, this is the attitude. Well done, Bill. You know, Jordan said, look, you got 7 fucking days. They've been giving him, the Congress, as far as I'm concerned, going all the way back to when Chavez was on there, before he resigned, when Trey Gowdy was on there, right, before he stopped being a firebrand. They've been asking nicely, giving them extensions, giving them lots of time. This does have, by the way, very important shit it's the fan ramification. Right? Rosenstein says we can't, every time he was cornered, he'd fall back on that, we can't discuss classified information. They're talking about there. He pulled the paper and said, we know what it says in the redacted part because they've received the unredacted part. He even told them what was there. But Rosenstein is a slimy little wormy fuck. And this is a massive problem. You see, what we've got going on right now is we have a non-violent coup occurring. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to stall all the way to the fucking midterm election. And they're hoping and praying for the Democrats to take over the House so they can control this fucking committee, so they can put it aside, so they can put bullshit out there, so they can try and convict the president in an impeachment hearing that is lined and laced with absolute horse shit from this Mueller investigation that Rosenstein is the boss of. Oh, I'm in charge of 100,000 people. Well, do your fucking job, clown. Right? That's the attitude. Right? I'm not a congressman. If I was up there in a nice suit and tie, I would probably have a glass of water, relax. I would speak intelligently, calmly. I would ask clear questions, concise questions. But it wouldn't be wrong of me to put a little bit of, what? Emotional tones in there? Is that wrong, Mr. Rosenstein? You've been jerking around Congress, you've been jerking around the American people, and you've been screwing with the president for 2 fucking years now, and even longer, because he was involved. And I swear, he wouldn't comment on the FISA issue. And again, and if you haven't watched the video, you have to watch the video to understand the context in which I'm referring. He was involved in the FISA memo that was given to this Steele, who's an ex-British spy, who made up all of the bullshit in a forged or perjurious document that was put before a secret fucking court called the FISA court. And they made all this bullshit up. And the fucking texts are real. And the goddamn emails are real, where they say they're going to get rid of Trump and they're going to do everything they can. You know, the whole problem with this is they all thought Hillary was going to win. And they would just sweep this shit under the rug. Sorry, Rosenstein, you little prick. It didn't work that way. And so, as far as I'm concerned, he's on the fucking hot seat. Congress has called him into their fucking chambers. Now, if he wants to investigate any congressman and he calls them into his investigation, guess what? Anything they say that is perjurious, a lie, or bullshit is going to be used against them in a court of fucking law. Amazing shit, eh? But this fucker, this little weaselly fuck, Rosenstein, I love talking like this, this little weaselly fuck Rosenstein thinks he gets to go into Congress during their investigation and fucking lie and stonewall and bullshit his way through it and then smirk and act fucking arrogant like the little fuck he is. Oh, he's a powerful fuck because he's got 100,000 people. Well, guess what? He was the one who did threaten, we're going to subpoena you guys. Jim Jordan was not full of shit. That came out back when he made that shit up. And Jim Jordan said, you don't think that's fucking chilling? We can't do our job with you fucking threatening people? Well, Rosenstein wouldn't answer the fucking question, would he? No. He's a lying little fuck. And I hope, and I pray, literally pray, prayer to God Almighty, that they grow longer hairs on their scrotums and they charge this fucking guy with perjury. And that they go after him and that he does fucking jail time. He is lying in court. Now, if I go to court, say I get a speeding ticket, I go to court, John, sitting in a chair, judge, black robe, gavel, all that shit. If I lie in that court, that's perjury, that's an offense. If I smart off to the judge, guess what? He can bang that fucking gavel, call contempt of court on me, and guess what I do? I go to jail right then. There's no trial. There's no hearing. It is a court-ordered violation, right? Bam! It's called decorum. It's called respect. Rosenstein has no fucking respect. Now, Jim Jordan said, hey, look, this is a matter. We have equal, what's the right word for this? What did he say? Fuck, I got to come up with this. We're equal branches of government, saying we're equal powers. But see, Rosenstein doesn't think that. Number one, he thinks he's more powerful. Number two, he doesn't understand he is in Congress's court. Court is like courtyard. That's where the term came from in law. Go back, learn your ancient fucking law. It's a court, right? What do you do in a court? Well, you drive your fucking wagon in there with your horses and you get out of it, right? You're in the king's court. The king doesn't come out and try cases. Not since Solomon, I don't think, has king done that. He has what? His chancellors and his magistrates. They do it for him. But you're in the king's court. You're under his authority, his jurisdiction. You can't resist it. If you lie, he's got you right there. This is what pisses me off about even, DeSantis and Jim Jordan, they should charge him with contempt right there. And just tell him that's fucking contemptuous. You're a contemptuous little prick. You want to talk trash from behind there? You come here and you be fucking respectful. It's their court. It's Congress's court. Like a courtyard. It's their court. It's not a criminal court. It is the court of the people. It's a congressional hearing is what we call it today. But in olden times, you don't think that they wouldn't be sitting up there with a fucking wig on their head? And if Rosenstein came in and talked trash to them, they'd fucking have him in the stocks. This is why I'm so pissed off about this stuff, is they continue to stonewall. What did Rosenstein say? Oh, well, when he wanted to protect and shield and justify the behavior of people in the FBI, he says, oh, well, they're a career employee. As if I'm supposed to give a fuck. Oh, you mean if I'm a career asshole, cocksucker in the FBI, I can fucking lie and stonewall and hide shit and trash shit? Pretend like I don't see it? You can't say, well, I didn't see it. I mean, the papers were here and I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Well, yeah, you close your fucking eyes and not pay attention, and then you can testify without perjury that you didn't see it. But when you don't even look, and the guy went after him, he said, hey, look, this crossed your desk. You didn't personally check on this? A fucking investigation on a presidential candidate who says he's going to drain the swamp, which is all the shit in D.C. And you're not going to go into the details of the motherfucking papers in front of you? Are you shitting me? I'm supposed to fucking believe that crock of shit? The person that brought it in and didn't say, oh, by the way, here's the papers that are going to go before that FISA judge about investigating Trump. You're not going to fucking read it? You're not going to verify the information? You've got to have a couple fucking beers just to relax. A couple scotches, whatever your drink is. You've really got to relax before you watch this. And believe me, I've had a couple drinks. You've got to relax. These people will make your fucking brains explode. Right? These are career agents. Oh, like that makes it better. What you're saying is they're career fucking political hacks. That smarmy little fuck, Rosenstein. He threatened people with going after them. Well, I can't do that. No, what did you say to them? Whether or not you can or can't. Was it a threat? You little wormy fuck. Right? We got the same shit from McCabe. Got the same shit from who? James Comey. He fucking stood there and lied in front of everybody. Now, what I like about DeSantis, Gates, and Jordan is they got him talking. Hopefully the fucker perjured himself and proved what a liar he is. I don't know if he did or not, right? I sure hope they do something about it. This whole part about he should have been recused. Oh, if I could have recused myself, I would have. Yeah. What a fuckhead. It's been demonstrated again and again. He should have recused himself a long time ago, and he still refuses. Why? Because his nuts are on the chopping block with everyone else who's committed crimes in this. And what is their hope? Their hope is that Trump or the Republican Party lose this midterm and they gain power. And then brilliant minds like Sheila Jackson Lee, fucking dimwit extraordinaire. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. A parliamentary procedure. Those are lines from the movie Animal House, when a bunch of drunk, dropout frat boys, fraternity boys, tried buffaloing and bullshitting their way out of being held accountable. Now, it's cute in a fucking movie, because it's funny. This isn't a movie. This is about a coup d'etat that happened and started before the election in an attempt to foil the election. And they got caught. And since then, it has been a coup d'etat, non-violent, to obstruct justice, to impede the wheels of progress in understanding what is happening in this investigation. These people are a bunch of scumbags, and they're in big trouble. Trump is talking about a red wave come fall. I want to know who in the Trump administration is going to leak classified information, which means information that the people shouldn't have, information Congress shouldn't have. Classified, national security. That means it's fucking embarrassing to them. They are an embarrassment to themselves. They've committed numerous crimes, from Hillary to Comey to Loretta Lynch to Susan Rice to every last one of these people we talk about on a regular and continual basis. And they're still trying to cover it up. This is a mountain of cat shit, over 100 feet tall. And you've got every cat in the FBI covering like they had 6 paws and slinging dirt in the air, trying to cover the stink and filth that these congressmen are trying to expose. All they want is the truth. If there's nothing there, if there's no fucking crime, then give them the information, no matter how embarrassing it is. You want embarrassing? Rosenstein embarrassed himself. Embarrassed himself. They're lying in front of the American people. Can you imagine? I can't imagine doing it. Probably, tops, a couple thousand people will watch this video. Tops. He lied in front of 350 million Americans. I don't know how many are going to watch, but that's the real potential. I'm going to say at least 50 million on both sides of the aisle, maybe 100 million. How about internationally? This guy, this deputy director, blah, 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 is going to lie in front of the whole planet. That's why I say this pile of cat crap is 100 feet tall. It's visible. It's not hidden. It's not under a bush. It's not in a cave buried under bat guana. It's a big, massive pile of stinking cat shit. And they can't cover it up fast enough or deep enough for everybody in America and the world to get a good whiff of how bad this stinks. Right? Now, where this goes with regard to prepping. I'm going to get off my rant, my rant, what do you want to call it? Soapbox. Where this is going to be a problem for preppers, for Americans, is this continuing stonewalling is going to increase the pressure. It's going to increase the pressure on Democrats. It's going to increase the pressure on Republicans. It's going to make Democrats angry. It's going to make Republicans angry. In other words, it's going to divide everything. Seriously. It's going to make people pick sides. You see, it's not saying we're all Americans, can't we just figure this out? Well, as soon as you figure it out, you see the criminal action. And it should be prosecuted. Unfortunately, it's not being prosecuted, and that's what's causing the division. See, Democrats are joining Rosenstein and that side, saying there's nothing wrong here. And the Republicans and everyone who want real information are saying, yeah, there is something wrong here. And so this division between criminal behavior and lawful behavior, it's pretty cut and dry. As far as I'm concerned, it's cut and dry. But throwing dirt in the air to obfuscate the facts doesn't change the facts. But that dirt in the air is what Democrats use to cover up this crime. I don't care if there's Republicans involved with this, fry them. Take them down. And that's why I think a lot of Republicans are resigning from Congress, because they're involved in dirt, whatever that dirt is, and I don't give a shit. They've resigned. I don't care what party you're from. This, to me, is not about partisan politics, but that's the division line it's being drawn on. You've got the lunacy and stupidity of Maxine Waters, and you saw, again here, with Sheila Jackson Lee, the stupidity, the obfuscation, the bullshit, right? They don't want something exposed. They don't want the truth to come out. And they're willing to take our country and trash it, destroy it. If you remember during the Clinton impeachment, when Speaker of the House Henry Hyde, held the American flag, or simulated, or pantomimed it, and he said, the flag is falling, we need to catch it, right? And he simulated it going down, and then the stopping, the holding of it. You see, the Democrats are willing to drag the flag through the mud, to desecrate the flag. The flag is representative of our nation, America. Not just the Founding Fathers, but every human being in America who has worked and paid taxes and wanted his freedom. The Democrats are willing to burn the flag and drop it in the mud and then stomp on it. They're all for flag burning. I'm not. Right? I think it's disrespectful. I won't do it personally. I don't know if there needs to be a law, but symbolically, America is in the mud and is being dragged through it. And Rosenstein and Comey and Clinton, they don't care. They've sold out. In other words, I think they're not only seditious, but they're treasonous. Right? They have accepted money. If you look at Comey and his financial associations, these people will commit treason, right, in order to cover up their complicity, their participation in the crime schemes. But the problem as preppers comes when they're doing their thing in Washington and the people of America are being divided. Again, there's this division right down the middle, and they're putting people on one side or the other, and they're riling us both up, and they're going to turn us loose on each other. Right? If I had a Democrat right now walk up to my door and knock on it and ask to talk to me, right, and drag me outside, they're going to get a full volume argument. Full volume. They'll get both verbal barrels from me. And there'll be no bullshit, right, if they want their bullshit to start. And that's what would happen. I'm not happy about that. Right? I've had lots of conversations with lots of Democrats my whole life, and I enjoy the discussion over either political theory or interpretation, but facts are facts. And these people are lying, and that's a fucking fact. And so it's causing such a hard division that we're going to have conflict between Americans on partisan grounds. Meaning this is not going to be a civil war, even though that's probably the most easily understood term for the average American to just throw out there. We're going to have a civil war over this. The civil war is going to occur in D.C. If Trump says, I'm chief executive, these people are criminals, they need to be arrested, they're going to Guantanamo, right, because of the fact that obstruction of justice at the highest level has occurred. He could have his troops under his legitimate authority say a coup d'etat has occurred. They are trying to step outside the rightful authority of the government. They've usurped it, and they're trying to take over. And he could do that. And it would be a fucking fight. But that's their fight in Washington, D.C. That would be the coup and the putting down of the coup d'etat. And we would see which side wins at that point. That's the Civil War. Because a civil war is about taking over a government. And on a brief aside, allow me to digress, the American Civil War was not a civil war. That was a war between the states because the South wanted to separate itself. Right? It seceded from the Union. It wasn't trying to take over the nation's capital and instill their government. They just said, we've had enough of this bullshit. And they stepped aside. Well, they call it a civil war because that's the easiest term for people to understand. So, but we would call that a civil war now because it's easy for the average American to get. But it's not. It's a coup d'etat in Washington, D.C. And there's going to be a partisan war on the streets of America. That is my fear. There's going to be a partisan war in the streets of America where it's going to be one political party against another. Not a political faction or state. Right? Not that kind of politics. It's going to be between people. And the winner of these fights that are going to occur will have nothing to do with government down at the city hall or the county courthouse. It's going to have nothing to do with the state capitol or the nation's capital. It's going to be between people that are so pissed off and so rancorous that they're willing to become violent. Now, let's step back and look at the word violence. Violence means using force to affect another person's behavior or to cause bodily harm and injury. That is the very thing that Representative Maxine Waters has been talking about all week. Republicans are not welcome here or anywhere anymore. Right? I think she said anywhere and anymore, anywhere. What does not being welcome mean? Well, to a bunch of political extremists on the left, that's violence. That's instigating violence as far as I'm concerned, because that is their track record. They think that the right to protest means the right to burn cop cars and smash windows, destroy businesses, assault political opponents. That's violence. That's what I'm talking about. So as a prepper, we need to understand the extreme potential. You know, never mind all the ranting and soapbox screaming and yelling about politics in Washington. What I'm really concerned about, and where I'm very calm and reserved and watching and thinking and acting and behaving, is on the street. What happens? What can happen? If bad things happen, what is it you're going to do? How will you respond to it? Will you be able to respond by removing yourself from the situation and leaving? Will you be allowed to leave? Will you be forced to defend yourself? Will you be forced to use deadly force because you feel that your life is threatened? That's shit hitting the fan, folks. That's what we talk about here when it comes to prepping. The people on the left have a tendency to violence. You know, all the screaming and yelling from the soapbox, from the podium, right, from the political pulpit. You know, I like to do that, and that's why I started this video out doing that, right? It's fun to get up and just shout and yell and scream. But on the street, out in public, that's where these people do their work. You know, it's not a fucking game. It's not a game. But they're treating it like a game. They have no respect, the Democrats, those on the left. The bureaucrats, like Rosenstein, they have no respect for law. Law and fact. What did he talk about? Well, I'm trying to follow the rules. Howdy doody time. Right? That's what he's talking about. He's talking about, oh, I'm following the rules. No, he's not. He's making up whatever rules he can. He's sidestepping the rules. He's trying to say this rule preempts that rule. I don't have to follow your rules. I have my own rules, is what he's playing. Right? And so the game continues there. And Jim Jordan was very serious. I hope he was very serious. And that they find him in contempt. Right? And that they press charges for perjury, for lying. Because the guy's lying. He's lied about what he said and what he meant and what he's done in an effort to cover for others and cover for himself. The terrible part is that they've done that to the esteemed office. And you'll notice that Rosenstein talked about, well, I'm the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, to make it sound grand. Right, you're that guy. Fuck nuts. Right, you're the Attorney General or Acting Attorney General because Sessions has recused himself. You are the boss. And this is how you're treating the office. And this is how you're treating the American people. And this is the way you behave in Congress. Right? Their disregard for the government at that level, when that filters down and translates to people on the street, they're going to have the same disregard for law and order. Now, as preppers, I'm pretty sure that you probably lean a little more to the right. A little more towards freedom and constitution, law and order. We tend to be nonviolent. We tend to follow the rules. Their side does not. We need to be prepared. Prepared for what is coming. And it is coming hard and fast. You know, we can't do anything about Washington. They're going to do what they do. If it's a madhouse and a big game there's not a thing we can do to affect that. But on the street, in our lives, there's going to be things that do affect us and can hurt us. And we need to be aware. Don't turn your back on people. Be aware of your surroundings is my recommendation. Be aware when you drive into a parking lot, when you drive into work, when you walk into a room, when you go into a supermarket. Be aware of those around you. If you have the ability to carry a concealed weapon, do it. Don't leave it locked up at home. Don't leave it locked in your car. From this point on, you need to be fully aware that a situation can go down really quickly. Very quickly. And you may be fine in your car and fine in the store, but how long, seriously, does it take for a group of idiots to walk down the street and decide that they're going to come after you? Remember, these people have lists of voters. That's right, lists of Republicans, their sworn enemy, that they're not going to allow in stores and restaurants anywhere anymore. That's what we potentially face. So this isn't fear porn. I'm not trying to scare anyone. We just need to be on our guard. Right? It's been coming up lately, the last couple of months. People carrying concealed weapons have stopped others from committing heinous crimes because people are aware, they're waking up, and they're not going to allow it anymore. So as preppers, we're part of that group. We're part of that community, that like-mindedness type of thinking, where we say we're not going to allow it anymore. So, if you would, it would make me very happy, right, to know that you guys are protecting yourselves to the greatest extent. It's going to get more stupid. It is. I expect there to be mass shootings. I expect there to be mob mentality. I expect this activity to be lightly, bullshittedly condemned by Democrats. But secretly, in the back of their little heads, they want this stuff to happen. They want it to go nuclear, in other words. They want shit to hit the fan because they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to go to jail. Rosenstein knows he's committed crimes. He doesn't want to go to jail, so they're stonewalling. They're stonewalling, waiting for the election. That's what they're doing. They want Trump to be impeached. They want the truth to be hidden. Right? And they want you and me to shut up and obey, give us all their money, let them collect it, and then let them dominate and control us as they destroy our freedom. I don't like that. I want them exposed. They're the criminals. I'm the one that goes to work every day and pays my fucking taxes. And then some. Right? People like Timothy Geithner, the Treasury Secretary under President Barack Barry Soetoro Hussein Obama, didn't pay taxes. And he got to be the treasurer, the Secretary of the Treasury. Are you fucking kidding me? And we're supposed to believe that they are honest? They're not. They're dishonest. They're disingenuous. They're arrogant. And they're liars. That's what we need to know. And I applaud Mr. Jordan. I applaud Gates. I applaud DeSantis. I applaud Nunes and everyone else who is standing up and fighting and trying to get this stuff out there. And I like to say, and I'll say it again at the very end here, if this was all a game and it wasn't real, why go through the exercise? Why not just collapse the economy or start a war? I think there is a real effort to clean this shit up. And I don't know if they're going to be successful. And I hope that they are. But between now and that success, there's going to be a lot of shit hitting the fan. And between now and the possible failure, there's going to be an awful lot of shit hitting the fan. Whether it's a mega shit hits the fan, Captain Caveman, or a shit hits the fan light, and I can't believe it's not butter, wasn't delivered to the store today. I don't know. But what I do know is we need to be ready for what's coming. You guys be cool. Thanks for watching. Next time you see me, it's going to be the weekend update. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye. Oh, Godspeed to you all. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Right? Stay frosty.